Can anyone sing some Christmas music? I'm doing a little rotation here.
The weather outside is frightful.
Thank you, Brittany.
There you
Hey,
go.
everybody. It's our last member make of the year.
It is.
Yes, and we are, oh, you want us to move it because
Oh.
it's right. Oh, not in front of your face, away from
Maybe,
your face. Yes, this is our last member make, and I think we're going out with a bang. I mean, we're learning some new things here.
Yeah. A lot of new things.
Yeah, I
with
think
this flower.
this is a whole new technique that we're trying
Mm-hmm.
that she invented. Yes, give a hand. So we're pretty excited. We're going to give a few more minutes to let everybody come in. It is 11 o'clock. I have my notes on my phone, so I'm going to read these off while we chat.
Yeah.
Make sure you let Anna know where you're from.
Mhm.
Type in the comments. We love it that you're all here. This is, let's see, this is our Friday. We're working on Monday, and then we're kind of gone for the
Yeah.
rest of the week.
Yeah.
So we're going to do our little holiday celebration on Monday, which is really fun. Well, I'm sure we'll do some socials, so make sure and watch that. So a couple things I need to tell you all is that we had our Craft Your Life sweepstakes
Mhm.
last month. And we were so excited about that because we had all kinds of different companies put in different products that we could give away for you guys, including one of the the new Silhouette 4s.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody won that, and I was just going to announce the winners, even though you probably already know that you won. So we actually shipped all these things out a couple weeks ago. So Terry, I don't know if I say this right, Terry Borbeau, gorgeous name.
Mhm.
She got first place, so she won the Silhouette. And then we had Brianne Womack got second place, Rebecca Dunham was third, and then Terry Colborn was fourth. And I just wanted to share the winners with you guys because we're going to be doing this more in 2020. We already have our first one somewhat figured out. It's going to happen in the spring. So
Mhm.
to make sure that you know when this is happening, go ahead and sign up for our shop email list. We have a shop email list and a site email list, and it's a little bit confusing, but we have to have opt-ins on them. It's kind of legal things
Yeah.
that we can't just send you emails without you agreeing that we can. So make sure that you sign up for the shop email list because we are going to have more prizes.
Mhm.
So, and anything going on over there?
We have
Getting over a
people
cold.
joining us from all over the world. New Zealand.
Love it. Yep. Just New Zealand. It's just New Zealand today.
Well, then I realized the rest were Illinois, Colorado, California, Alabama.
Well, that's all over the
All
world.
over the US.
Dorset, UK, Texas.
Okay.
There you go.
And we have a few local. We have 3 people joining us from Oregon today.
Okay.
Nice.
Hello, Oregonians. It's nice and
Yes.
rainy today and dark.
Yep.
Tomorrow is winter solstice, so
It
it's
is.
the darkest day of the year.
It's gonna start getting
Yes.
longer.
It is. A couple more things before we
Yeah.
get started. So I wanted to tell you all. Oh no, did I forget the prizes? Did anyone bring them?
I did not grab them. I
Okay.
told you we always forget
I know,
something.
we do. At least it was this. Okay. So we have some new things in the shop. We have our frosted paper stacks, which are, I'm looking around still.
Amazing.
They're the 12 by 12s, and there's 6 packs, and there are 4 colors each pack. And we selected these colors
Mhm.
as our favorites, things that we've been craving and wanting. They're now for sale. We also have our wool blend felt sheets. They're about this big. We have 46 colors, and we have matching floss to go with those. And we also have our single crepe color packs. So make sure and go check them out.
Mhm.
We're super excited about building out our shop because we want to make sure you guys have everything we use.
Yep.
Which brings me to the question. I'm going to let you guys vote in the comments here. If we were to, this is just an if, we're
Mhm.
not saying we're going to, but if we were to add more member makes per month, if we were to do 2,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe 3, I don't know. Let's start with 2. And we always did a crepe paper flower for one. What would you want us to do for the second? Would you want to do SVG cut file projects? Would you want us to do felt and felting projects? More crepe paper flower? I don't know. Just throw it out there. We want to hear from you guys. Okay. Then today's giveaway, we're actually giving away 3 of those paper stacks. And we're going to give 2 winners this time. We're going to give a winner during the live, and then we're going to give a winner for a social tag, and the tag is #FrostyChristmas. So either in the comments for today for the winner, 3
Mhm.
packs, or when you social, do Frosty Christmas, and we'll give away 3 packs for that as well. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're ready to go.
We're ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so excited to learn this.
All right. Well, so there's a lot of different techniques we use in this flower that we're going to talk about today. And then there's also a lot of drying time for certain things.
Yeah.
So we did prep a few things, and I'm going to show you guys how to make the elements that need to dry first. So that hopefully you can continue to craft along with us.
Right. And we got it ahead of time so you could all be prepped.
Yes,
Hopefully that
we got
worked.
it.
Yes.
We got everything out at the beginning of the month for you guys. So hopefully everyone was able to get all their materials.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna start with our stamen, our centers. And we made our own for this flower. They're just little pieces. That's what your 24 gauge white wire is for. And so you're gonna take your wire and you're gonna cut it into, I'd say, like 3-inch pieces. And so we have those here. I've already pre-cut them. You can make a couple if you like.
Thank you.
And then for the stamen tips, we used some pan pastel. It's the Dairy Lied Yellow. And so you can use this color pan pastel. I know a lot of people think it's a little expensive to be using for this. You can also use embossing powder.
You can.
I'm trying to think of what other things you could use.
If you use the embossing
you could
powder,
use a little piece of crepe paper.
you could. Or even sand. We were looking at really fine grade sand at one point. Yeah.
And so to do this, you're gonna take your tacky glue, and I'm actually gonna use, you can just, use that piece of paper. You're gonna need a scrap piece of paper, and just go ahead and throw a little blob of glue on your paper, and we're gonna take our, pan pastel, and with a paintbrush, a pretty stiff one, I'm gonna just tap it so that I get a little dust in there. And then we're gonna just dip the tip of our wire in the tacky glue, and we're gonna dip it right into the dust, and it just it picks it right up. It doesn't get any glue on your pan pastel or anything. There you go.
I think the nice thing about using this technique too is, it doesn't use a lot of pan pastel.
No, it doesn't.
And it looks like pollen, which I love.
It totally looks like pollen. And so I'm gonna show you this. You have to sit and let these dry for a little while, so I've pre-made a bunch of them for us already. And I just like to stick them in we reuse this piece of foam, and we just stick them in here.
This is a good use for foam.
Yeah,
because you
reuse it. You just use the same piece over and over again. And so I made these yesterday and let them dry. Really, you only need to let them dry, I'd say, for 20 minutes.
Okay.
And they'd be fine. And so we already have those guys. Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Got
it's so pretty. Face. I don't know. I kind of like it. No.
All right, so you're gonna need 6 of those per flower. And for this Amaryllis, we did 3 flowers on 1 stalk, I guess. And
that's a common number for them. Sometimes there's more. I think less than 3 doesn't look.
We'll be showing you how to make a couple buds today to add into it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so next we're gonna make the bulb. And so this is really fun. You don't have to make the bulb. You can totally just put this in a pot if you like, but this is a fun way to display it. And we made it kind of look like it was dipped in wax, so it's a little shiny.
So that's what, if you bought a wax dipped amaryllis, you would get it unbloomed. It would be dipped in the wax, and you just set it on your table. They wax it so it has a base on it. Just set it on your table and follow the directions, and it will bloom.
Yeah.
So we just thought this was a fun alternative.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, and this is just made with stuff you have laying around your house.
Exactly. And how fun would it be to have a row of these sitting on your mantle or something?
Super fun.
Yeah.
So this is actually just made out of, go outside, find a rock that's pretty flat. Make sure it's flat on the bottom. I just grabbed this from outside of our office. And you want to make sure, I'd say this one's probably 2 inches across. You just want it to be big enough so that when you set it down, it's not bigger. It's not like wobbling around. And then we're gonna take some paper towels. You can use newspaper, toilet paper, tissue paper, whatever you want.
Recycled, yeah.
Yeah. I would use newspaper if we had it laying around. And
I'll move it.
we're actually just gonna totally just ball it up and just keep building it. You're gonna make a ball and you're just gonna keep wrapping more paper around it. And after you've done about 2 or 3 pieces, you're gonna we're gonna set the rock on the bottom. And then you're just gonna take another piece and wrap it up around it, kind of like you're wrapping a little package or something. So it's kind of, we'll twist the top a bit. And so it's gonna look like this. And we're just gonna keep adding to it and you're gonna continue setting the rock down like this and wrapping up. And you're gonna
keep it flat on the bottom.
Yeah, to keep it flat on the bottom so that it sits, and you can kind of test it out, make sure your rock is flat, and just twist the top to hold the paper. And you're just gonna keep adding paper until it's as big as you'd like it.
And don't worry about the top stuff on the top, because we're gonna cut it.
Yeah,
right.
don't worry about the stuff on the top yet. We're not gonna worry about that
How many
for
more would you like?
a little bit. I think this is good for
Okay.
right now, just because we already have one made. All right, so you've got this. I'm gonna leave the top on right now because that's kind of what's holding it all together. And we're gonna take our gold floral tape, which I love.
Yep, a good
We don't
use
get
for
to use it very often, so this is exciting. And you're gonna take a good long bit. And I'm gonna start at the top so that you can hold it together, and you're just gonna start wrapping. And I'm gonna just kind of skip down, and you wanna go and cover the bottom as often as you can, because that's the harder part to really get covered.
And it's easier to do it at an angle versus try to do it at the end.
Yep.
Yep. How fun is this? It's like making a mummy, and a great way to learn how to use your floral tape
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
You want to really stretch and warm it up so it sticks to itself as we're going. Go around the bottom. And then when we're all done covering this, we're gonna Mod Podge it at the end just to really hold it all together.
And to give it the wax look.
Yeah, to give it that waxed look. And it'll make it last so that the floral tape doesn't start coming off or anything. Because when you do stretch it at this angle, it gets a little weird.
Well, yeah, and it isn't a sticky tape, so if it gets warm, it might fall away. Where if you Mod
you have it like
Podge
sitting in a window or anything,
and the sun hits it, so it's a really good way to just seal it. Yeah, and I would say too, if you get to this point, you're like, I want my bulb bigger. Go ahead and wrap some more.
Totally, because this is a little skinny right now.
Right, you could wrap some more paper towels on and continue.
Yeah.
It's a small bulb.
It is. This is just a small one. You really just.
Anna, any questions over there? Any questions? Anybody?
We do have a couple of questions if anybody
Yeah.
has used other things to color versus using pan pastels, and we have some cool ideas. Somebody's wondering if you've ever used mica powder. And I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a natural stone mineral.
Yes, mica powder would be perfect for this. In fact, I know that they do use mica in the pan pastels as a way to make it pearlescent. So if you have it, that's a beautiful thing to use.
Then we also have some other really clever ideas. Somebody mentioned that they've used turmeric in some coffee, paprika, and other deeply colored
I love
spices.
that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is so good.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
turmeric. That's such a great idea. Yeah. Speaking of, I was going to tell you guys, we're going to have our January before. Anna and I are going to Germany. We're going to Germany this year to the trade show. And we're actually going to be sitting at the Pan Pastel booth doing some demonstrations.
Yeah. It'll be so fun.
Yes, and I love the owners of Pan Pastel. They're just the nicest people. So it will be fun to hang out with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so once we have our bulb mostly covered, you're gonna wanna wrap it more evenly around so that it looks nicer. So we're just gonna start at the top and just.
And you might even tighten this too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you're gonna cut it off so you can.
You're gonna
actually
cut it,
create
and you want your stem, your stalk of this flower is gonna be pretty thick, especially with those bulbs in there.
Right.
So you do need it to be big enough that you can really fit all of that in there.
Okay.
And at the end, we're gonna add a little more floral tape to make it look more finished. All right.
So fun.
Yeah, so once you have it all covered and nice looking, you're just gonna take your scissors and just go ahead and chop the top of that off.
There we go.
Yep. So it's gonna look like that. And then we're gonna, once you're done with this, you're gonna take your Mod Podge and you're gonna paint the entire thing. You can, I would leave the bottom unmod podged when you do it, so that when you set it down and it's drying, it doesn't get stuck to whatever you set it on.
Or you can stick it upside down in a little.
Yeah.
There
or
we
you
go.
can set it upside down somehow on something.
Put
I
it
don't
on
know
a
if that would
toothpick or
stay.
something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something like that. But what I did was I waited until it was dried like this, and then I Mod Podged the bottom and then just set it on its side to dry.
Yep.
That one really doesn't, that's like one of those little,
Those
what are
little
those
dolls,
toys
yeah.
that doesn't.
That's so cool.
That's fun.
So if you don't want to make an amaryllis, you
Yeah,
can make
it's
one of these.
those toys.
A
that
cat toy. I don't know.
doesn't fall over. Alrighty, now we get started on the petals, which is the best part, because you really get to color them and have fun with them.
Template.
Yeah.
And this is all the same petal, but we did cut these out on
I
the
cut
cutting
these out on the
machine.
maker.
Yep.
Yep. I cut all of the crepe out on the maker. It was
Even the little tiny strips.
even the little tiny strips.
So today you're using all extra fine
except for
for the green.
the
No,
double-sided.
The double-sided,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah. Yeah, so we have juniper, we have white, we have gold, and then we have our brown.
Yep.
And then we have our double-sided.
Cafe. The double-sided green tea and
Green.
cypress, so
Yep.
the lighter version.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and so first we're gonna cut out all our petals. And we have these little skinny white pieces, and these are gonna be, because we're gonna wire our petals. But I didn't wanna fold the petals over the wire because it makes it a little too much of a vein
bumpy,
or
yeah.
seam or whatever. And these flowers don't have like a protruding
Right.
little vein going down the middle. And so we use these little covers for the back side. And so we are gonna take our tacky glue. It's right
Oh,
here.
there's one. Okay.
And use our dip method. And go ahead and
you're putting the
measure
wire
how
all the way to the end?
far. Almost to the tip.
Almost to the tip.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna glue that.
I got a bit much, so I'm kind of clearing it off a bit.
Yeah.
And then you just place the other piece right on top.
Yep. And so since your wire is not going all the way to the tip, you might want to grab a little bit of glue off the wire for the tip of your cover piece so that
gotcha.
it lays down nicely. All right, so now you have a wired petal. You're gonna do that to all your petals, and I only have 2 here to finish up, but
I just have 2 as well.
awesome.
Okay.
I think I'm missing a piece of wire. Did you have?
No, I only have 2.
Oh, there's a piece right
This
here.
one?
I can
Okay.
get one. Perfect.
Yeah, using the wires with extra fine crepe paper is such a great technique.
Yeah, so the paper is not quite as strong as your heavier, your double-sided would
Right,
be.
but it gives the delicate look of a
Mhm.
petal without having to use the heavy crepe paper.
Yeah.
All right. Those are ready to dry.
Awesome.
And they don't
Alright.
take very long to dry.
They don't. These you really don't have to wait long at all. I'd say 5 minutes, maybe. All right. And after those have dried, we're gonna color our petals. I give you one of these so you can
Okay.
start out with a dry one.
All right. Thanks.
And so you have a couple options when you're using your pan pastel. We like to use a stiffer brush, angled paintbrush sometimes. You can get these little, almost like makeup, like eyeshadow spongy type brushes. Our only problem with these is the crepe paper seems to tear them up a bit. I really like how they apply to the paper, but you are gonna go through them
And then
pretty
but
quickly.
the tops pop off.
Yeah.
Right,
So
so you
the
can
tops of
replace them.
these, you can buy these like wherever pan pastels are sold. The tops of these just pop off, and then you can. Oh, that's not in focus. And then you can, yeah, just replace the tip. Or you can probably buy like a pack of the makeup.
Right.
You know, like the
And
eyeshadow sponges somewhere.
the nice thing about
use
these is we
those.
know that they're what pan pastel suggests.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So to get started with these, we have two different petal designs. And so we're gonna do this one first. So this guy, yeah, has like a bright or like a light green yellow strip down the center, and then it's a little pink on the outside, and then we colored with marker to get these darker bits. And so for this, we're gonna start with the lighter green color, which is Hansa Yellow Tint. We're just gonna take a bit of that and brush it just straight up the center. And so, whoop, we're just brushing it right up the center of your petal. And I'm gonna do that with, let's see, how many do we have? I'm gonna do that with one more of these, because
Okay.
we only need 3 of these for each flower.
So there's 6 petals per flower.
Yep. So
Three
there's
of-
6
three of
petals per
each.
flower and 3 of each petal design.
Okay.
All right, and so for this, for the next, we're gonna take the red iron oxide tint, which is kind of a pinky orange color. I'm gonna clean this brush off a little bit. All right, and we're just gonna brush this color up the sides.
I love this color.
Yeah, it's such a good, like, blushy.
We have somebody wondering if you
Color.
could use hot glue instead of the tacky glue.
I would not for up the center of these petals.
It might start again. Let's see. It takes a moment. Are people seeing it now at all?
No.
No.
They're saying, I love doing the pearl paper poinsettia wreaths and paper bows. So much fun making European villages with snowflake trees.
What?
It looks like it's going. Oh, it started moving again.
Oh. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Delayed. Ask
It's
if
a
you
little
can
delayed.
take
I think we're back. Maybe.
Are we back? Are we back?
Where'd we leave off?
We are back.
All
We're
right,
back.
we're back.
Perfect.
All
Now
right.
we just need to know where'd you lose
I think
us?
it was when we were talking about white glue versus hot glue to
Okay.
put the wire on.
Mhm.
Yeah. And also, we had a big storm last night, and our internet's a little shaky.
Yeah.
So I have it connected to my phone. Cross
Yep.
our fingers.
Hopefully it stays on for you guys.
So hot glue. The idea was it makes it really thick.
Yeah.
So it's probably not the best idea, but you can use any type of white glue like Elmer's glue or school glue. Just make sure you
Yeah.
don't put too much on because it tends to melt the extra fine crepe.
Yep.
Is that it? Okay.
Yep, it just gets a little soggy.
So show them the last part of the petal.
Okay, yeah. So we were on this petal here. So this was the finished bit. We added the pearlescent red down here on the bottom to give it more of a gradient, so it's a little darker up top and lighter at the tip. Yep. And so we're gonna move on to our second petal design, and we're gonna take that green color again, And we're just gonna put it up the center, put it at the base. This is just so there's a little bit of that color in this petal.
Yeah, just having that slight variation adds so much
Yeah.
dimension, I think. Okay.
And then we're gonna take our, what was this color again? Red iron oxide. And we're gonna brush it all over the petal.
And both sides?
Yep, we're gonna do both sides again. The one nice thing about using paintbrushes is it's very quick coverage.
It is.
It's really fast. All right, and you're gonna take your pearlescent red tint again and just brush that along the edges and down towards the base of your petal.
The nice thing about the pan pastels is that they don't fade, where sometimes the crepe paper, the lighter colors do fade and you have to keep them out of the sun. But the pan pastels don't.
They don't.
Mm-mm.
And I also brought a spray to show you guys today that you guys can
Perfect.
use on it. It also works on crepe paper if you want to prevent it from fading. All right, so once we're done here, we're gonna take our marker, and we're using the Blick Studio markers, the art markers, in Brick Red. It's number 033. And we only have one of these today, so I'm
That's
trying to be
fine.
quick. I'm gonna pass you over this petal, and I'll do this one.
Sounds good.
So I'll pass these off to you. Okay, and so we're gonna start with our petals that are that light green up the middle. And with your marker, you're gonna draw almost like a very fine line on the edge of that green yellow color. Not all the way up to the tip, I'd say like 2/3 of the way up.
Okay, show them because
Yeah.
we don't have an overhead.
And so just like that. And then from those lines, you're gonna kinda do little brush strokes out.
And you're using the brush side,
Yep.
not the
And
blunt side.
yes,
Mhm.
use the brush side of the marker, definitely.
And you're only doing the marker on one side.
Yes, I'm only doing the marker on the side with that yellow on it. Green yellow, I don't know what color to call it. It's
Green
like
yellow, that
yeah.
works.
And so that's how those are gonna look. And so I'm gonna do these two real quick. Is this the right one? Yeah.
I think
And you
yours had a
just-
stronger green than mine did.
It's alright. And you just have to be really light-handed with the brush when you're doing the brush strokes so that you get a finer little line.
And feathered out.
Yeah. Am I getting this on
No,
my
I was
jacket?
just I was trying to not let you get glue on your jacket.
I saw that there.
I'm a mom, I can't help it.
Perfect. All right, so you're gonna do 3 of them this way.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do the next one. Do you wanna do these?
Sure.
It's pretty easy.
Okay.
You're
One
just-
side.
Yep, you're just gonna do one side. Well, I'll show this to you here while she's kind of doing it. And you're gonna start with drawing a line straight up the middle. And then you're just gonna feather out from that line on either side.
It's kind of interesting going sideways against the green.
Yeah,
Takes a little bit of practice.
it does. You.
Can I see one?
Yeah, you just have to have
Okay. Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
pretty easy.
All right, now what do we do?
All right, after we're done with this, we are done with our flower, or with our petals.
Right.
We get to make
Okay.
our flower now.
A symbol?
Yeah. So we're gonna take our stamen, and we need 6 for each flower. I grab a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoop. All right, let's see. 1, 2, for you. 1, 2, 5, 6. All right. And we are going to just bundle them together and get the tips all even. And then I want you to pull one of them out so it's a little higher than the rest. And that's going to be your center stamen. So that they look just like this, so that one's just a little bit higher than the rest of them. Yeah, perfect. And then we're gonna grab some of our green floral tape and go down pretty far with your floral tape and just wrap those together.
At least 2 inches. You want to leave 2 inches.
Yeah. And this is just so that you can kind of place your petals wherever you like without seeing that floral tape.
We have a question on the marker. Is it water or alcohol based?
That's a good question.
This one is
I don't know.
alcohol based, yeah, but you can use water based as well.
Yeah, they both.
Now that I said that, maybe I should look.
I was like, I don't actually remember.
I don't remember.
It doesn't say on the marker.
I know the Copic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, it's alcohol. Yeah,
It's
that's
alcohol.
You can use
And smell it.
I thought you tasted
smell
it.
No, just a little sniff.
You can smell it. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but you can use either one.
All right, after you've wrapped the floral tape around these, you're gonna arrange them just so that that center, that taller one is in
actually
the center.
in the center. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I just
Like
love
that.
these little powdery
Yeah, they just actually look like stamen
pollens.
and
Yeah,
pollen.
they do. So clever.
Yeah. All right, and then we're gonna add our petals. And so I'm gonna take the 3 petals that have our yellow-green stripe up the center first. And we're gonna cup these just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stretch them
I think I need 3 of those.
lightly. Oh, there you go. I'm gonna stretch them lightly, just with my thumbs down further towards the base so that it looks like, just like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so you're gonna do that with all 3 of them. You're actually gonna do this with all of your petals. Just to give them a little more shape. All right, and you're gonna take, I guess we'll finish our petals. Boop. Alright, and you're gonna take one of your petals with the green stripe up the middle, and you're gonna really make sure that that one's cupped nicely, and we're gonna place it on our stamen and just decide where, I'd say place it so the tip is about almost even,
Mhm.
maybe a little higher.
Maybe a little
I'd say
higher,
it's a
okay.
little higher than your
Okay.
stamen are, just like that. And you're gonna take a piece of floral tape and go ahead and attach this one. And I'm only gonna wrap that floral tape around like once, just
Okay.
to hold it there, so that I can continue adding my other petals. And before I add the second petal, I'm actually gonna fold it out just a little bit. And I'm gonna place it right next to, maybe even a little bit behind
So there's an
my
overlap.
first petal. So
Mhm.
there's an overlap
Yeah.
there. And we can always, we're gonna be able to move these petals around a little bit even after they've been attached. So don't worry if it's absolutely perfect placement.
I would say the most important thing is trying to get all the tips even.
Yeah, make sure, and how you do that is you kind of just look at where like the bottom of your
Mhm.
petal is sitting.
Yes.
And
good
so we're
point.
gonna add our second one just on the other side
Mhm.
of our petal, so that that one that's wrapping, kind of like cupping your stamen, is in the center. I'm just gonna finish wrapping this full tape around. Alright, so this is what we have so far. We have our petal that's in the center that's kind of cupping our stamen, and then the 2 on the outside. Alright, and now we're gonna go ahead and add our last 3 petals, and I'm gonna bend these ones out a little bit before I add them as well, just so I can see where they're going to lay as I add them.
Right. No, they don't get quite so crowded.
Yeah. And I'm gonna start with the middle one. So I'm gonna place this one directly across from that petal that's wrapping around the stamen.
That makes sense.
Mhm. And as you're wrapping them, you can kind of move your petals around so they're placed where you're wanting. So this is what we have right now. It kind of looks, what does this look like?
I don't know.
Like a,
It looks like an orchid to
yeah,
me. Yeah.
or something. And then our last two petals are just gonna go on either side of that petal you just placed. So kind of let that sit underneath, right between those two petals. Add the last one in.
The thing I love about this flower too is it does say holiday Christmas, but I think they're really beautiful into January.
Yeah.
Any bulb flower, you know. And even maybe kind of Valentine's, I don't know. It's pink, right?
It is pink. It's like a nice muted.
Mm-hmm. Blush
Yeah.
and burgundy. Yeah.
Alright.
We get this question often. What setting are you using on the maker when you cut it?
So
Yeah.
for the extra fine, I like to use the cotton setting. And then if I'm using heavy or the double-sided, I'm gonna use the cotton setting, but for denim, so it has more pressure,
Right.
just to be sure that it cuts all the way through.
Yeah, and you guys have to know that they change it sometimes. They change the software, so it might be what we're using now, and then we go to cut and we find it's a
we
little
find
different.
it's not working.
So always test and know that it could vary, but we'll try to keep you updated.
You can always take just like a little square piece of crepe paper, like just an inch by an inch, and cut a little circle.
Right.
I would
and see if it
recommend
works.
doing a test cut before you go and try and cut a whole sheet of
Right.
petals and wasting
That's such a
big
good
piece
idea.
of crepe paper.
Yeah, and you know, going back to the idea of doing an extra member make, if you guys want SVG cut file cutting machines, we're gonna jump into the silhouette as well. So let us know if that's something you want us to kind of give you our tips and tricks, because we use it every day.
Yes,
We did have a lot of people that asked.
For SVG, yeah. Okay.
Yes, and frosted flowers and
Frosted
bells.
flowers.
Well,
all of the things.
Yes.
I know. Maybe
All
we'll
the
have
good
to do
things
one
in
every
life.
Friday. How about every Friday? I don't know. What? We'll see if we can do that. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Love to do- Okay.
All right, so we're gonna take one of our thick stem wires, and you're gonna attach a flower to each one. And these thick stem wires have a bigger end and a skinny tip, and we're gonna put the skinny tip so that, you don't get as much
It kind
of
of
a
merges.
bulge.
Yeah.
it kinda just
And we're not putting it all the
merges.
way to the top. We're kind of merging it.
You can
And
see
then
where
with
I
the
have that
tape,
there.
then with the
Right
tape
there.
you'll even it out.
Yeah, and so we're gonna use our
Yeah.
floral tape to add that. Alright.
And then I just want to apologize if we have any delays or it is a little spotty. We're having a major rain and windstorm coming through Portland. We
Yeah.
have power outages around the city, and I think it might be affecting our internet a bit. So
Yeah.
apologies for that.
If you guys could hear that, if you see that we've lost our feed, just let us know. We're expecting a storm today. There was one last night.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, so once you've done this, we're actually gonna do our little trick where we cover a bit of it with our
Oh,
crepe
yes.
so
Okay.
that we can kind of make it all the same color. And this
Yeah.
is a really great thing to do after you've been using Pan Pastel, because you'll notice that this is really sticky, and you'll be getting a little Pan Pastel all over your
It's true. Yeah. It's a
tape,
little
and
frosted.
so it's a little sparkly looking right now. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut a little bit of this off for us.
And this one's already done. You can
Yep.
see. about, I would say, 1.5 inches at the top.
Yep, I just cover enough of it.
I'm gonna
So
watch
it
your
looks
technique. So
nice.
you do run the.
Me, I always
the
put
glue.
a little when I get it started, just so I have it.
The glue.
Yeah, glue, and then I run a little bit down, just a tiny bit down the stem, just to keep it in place so it
Yes.
doesn't.
And again,
Bulk
this
out.
the question on this is, would you use hot glue for this? And the answer would be no.
No, yeah,
This
no,
is
no, no.
really works best with the white glue.
Yes. it
And
gets
Megan,
it
you know me, I love my
nice-
hot glue.
I know. This will get it nice and smooth, and then you're gonna want to glue down the end where you stop.
Yeah. I kind of went a little far, but I'll go ahead and cover it.
That's alright.
And the other thing
Better too far than
nice
not
about
enough.
white glue is it acts like a Mod Podge.
It does.
Sort of finishes things nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We have
Alright,
3 flowers.
We do. We have 3 flowers, and now we're going to use floral tape to connect all of them together, and you're gonna leave the thick stems on all of them, and this is how you're gonna get that nice thick stalk. And so you're gonna wanna kind of bend your flowers out a little bit.
And making sure that that top petal that wraps around is on the top.
Yeah. Alright.
That petal's moving a little, but we can move it back.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Oop. Right about there.
This flower was really fun to photograph yesterday.
Yeah.
We are having
Yeah.
problems with the internet. It's really choppy.
Uh-oh. We're wrapping.
Okay, we're gonna try internet one more time, see if we can get it better.
I'll stop right
Yeah,
now.
you'll stop.
Is there any way to do closed caption when it's on?
I know that when people watch it afterwards, they get the closed caption, but I don't know if it actually does it during.
Okay.
Yeah. It should work.
We've lost a lot of people.
Oh no. Okay, it should be working now.
Oh, there we are. We're back. And we're gonna keep wrapping the stem. I don't think we stopped before
Yeah.
we realized right away that we lost you guys. So we're still wrapping the stem of these flowers. I finished wrapping them all the way down. And I have one wire that's a little longer than the other, so I'm gonna take my wire cutters and I'm just gonna clip that so that they're all the same length. Alright. Ta-da. Alrighty, and once we're done with this guy, we're gonna wrap it with, actually, yeah, we're gonna start wrapping it with our crepe paper.
Do you want me to do that?
And I'm gonna, sure, you can do it.
Okay.
You're gonna stop a little ways and add our space in.
Okay.
So we
that's
have our
what I was-
space. And I'm just gonna like cup those a little, make them, actually, you know what I did? I just crinkled them.
Of course.
I just crinkled them up, rolled them between my fingers.
Okay. I think we did
Just
that
so
on another flower.
yeah, I think we did it with the daffodil also, because
Mm-hmm.
make it a little wild looking. And we're gonna place these on the flower, gold side in. You want that kind of tan color
Kind of natural,
facing
yeah.
out.
Okay. I will add those in and you can show them how to make the buds.
Yeah.
Just in case we lose
Lose
internet
you
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you're gonna, yeah, I was gonna say use tacky glue to attach those guys.
Okay.
Because hot glue does not stick to floral tape.
Nope, it does not.
I'll remind you guys that. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys how to make the buds while she's wrapping that. And so I've already made one here that you can see. And it's just using that double-sided. So this one, I think, this will be the tall one. And so I'm gonna make one that's a little shorter than this. And so I'm gonna take 3 of the thick stem wires, and I'm gonna kind of decide how tall I want it. I think I'm gonna do this one about 4 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of these down to about 4 inches. And I'm gonna take my floral tape and I'm gonna wrap the whole thing with floral tape. But I'm gonna leave the top 1/2 inch without floral tape because I need to glue my bud to them, and since glue doesn't stick very well to floral tape, I wanna leave a bit to attach my bud petals to. Oh, I got one that's kind of unwrapping. All right. A little more. Okay, and for this, to attach these bud petals, I'm going to use hot glue. I'm going to take some of our petals here, and I'm going to cup them the dark green side facing in. So I want that light green facing out. And I'm going to cup, I think I'm going to do 6 of them. Alright, and I'm going to put some hot glue just on the base here, and I'm going to go ahead, and this is why I left the tip uncovered, so that I can go ahead and glue that to the top. And then I'm going to continue adding these around and just kind of layering them over each other as I go. You'll also notice that the tips are kind of sticking straight up. You might want to take, if they're doing like sticking up or pointing outwards, you might want to take your curling tool and curl them in a little bit so that you get more of that rounded bud shape at the top.
Giveaway again. We have 2. We are closing in on picking the one for the live, but we will also have one that can enter by submitting your picture on social media with the hashtag #membermake.
Can they hear what you're saying?
And I don't know. So
Okay. All right, so just to remind you, we do have the giveaway. We're going to give away 3 of our new frosted paper packs, and each one has 4 colors. So you'll get 12 colors there. Is that the good math? So yeah, if you want to win right now, go ahead and type in hashtag frosted holidays. So that will be
Frosted Christmas.
Oh, whatever.
Frosted Christmas.
Something frosted.
Frosted Christmas.
Frosted Christmas. And Anna will pick that here in a few minutes. And then if you want to win the other 3 pack, go ahead and you can say Frosted Christmas, or you can say, well, but you do need to do Member Make because that's how we find them. And we'll give away another 3 pack. So go ahead and do that. Win those 3 packs because they're really pretty. I love the colors. Okay.
All right, once you have
Love that.
your bud,
Yeah.
you're going to take your crepe paper again, and we're going to go ahead and cover the base of these petals and all the way down the stem. So I'm going to go ahead and add.
I don't know how you don't get your glue everywhere, Megan, because you just have a way.
I do, I don't know.
You just keep your fingers out of the glue.
Yeah, you gotta hold where there's no glue.
That would help.
That's how you do it.
I mean.
That's how you do it. Oh, goodness.
That's what I've been doing wrong.
I know, I just keep putting
It's
my
hard
fingers
with others. Some are easier than others, that's for sure. The flowers are a little harder because you don't want to crunch your flower. All right. And then I'm going to add a little detail to this bud because it's a little stark, like this dark green to the light green. And so I'm going to take that bright yellow green shade. Kind of clean off this brush a bit. And I'm just going to shade the bottom of the bud to make it a little darker so that it,
Gradiates.
yeah, it's like a gradation. And I'm gonna pull that color down onto the stalk of the bud. Just kind of brush it up. Bring it down a little further. All right. So now you have this, and you've got 2 here. Oh, I was gonna show. Yep. And so in my taller bud, you can see I've left. Should have said this earlier when we made this
okay.
one. In my taller bud, you can see I've left one long stem. One of the wires were left longer, and this is so that I can easily put it into my bulb, so that I can just push it down in there, and I don't have to necessarily push all of
3.
this.
Yeah.
All, how many wires? 9 wires down into my
So
bud.
here's a trick. If they somehow didn't get that,
Yeah.
just take a wire and put it in the center of the 3
Yep.
and wrap it.
Yes,
And then you'll
you
have
can
a
totally
stake.
shove
Yeah.
a wire up in there.
There's always a workaround.
There is, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna decide kind of where I want to place these. And I think right there is good, and we'll move them out once we've connected all of them, and we're gonna take our floral tape.
Move them out, meaning bend them so they're
Yes.
not. Yep.
Oh, and before you do this, actually, I'm not gonna do it right now because otherwise we wouldn't be able to wrap them, but you can paint your stems with Mod Podge.
Okay.
And this will make the crepe paper last longer, and you'll get more of a shiny effect. I did that with this one, and this way, this thing is gonna last forever. It is.
As long as it doesn't get stepped on. or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Right?
it is solid. So yeah, you can paint your stems with Mod Podge, and you would do that before you add them all together and let them dry for, I'd say, at least 20 minutes before touching them.
I mean, technically, you could go back in and
You could,
paint.
yeah, you can go back in and paint if you want to. All right, I'm gonna right here, and I'm just doing like the bottom inch of these, and I'm gonna do a couple layers of floral tape
You
to
wanna-
make sure it's really stuck there.
And this is really the best use of floral tape. Sometimes floral tape isn't always the prettiest in some cases, but when
Yeah.
you're holding stems together,
Yeah, this
you
is
have to have floral tape. Really. I mean,
and layers of
think.
floral tape can be so strong. I'm
It
even
is.
gonna add a 3rd layer just to really, so that when I go to bend these out, it doesn't want to rip.
pop it, yeah. Oh. What?
All right, so once we have that, I would go back again with your tape. We're just gonna keep adding. You just want everything to look the same.
Polished, yeah.
Yeah. And then once you add this, you can go back over and Mod Podge over this again so that it matches everything. I'm gonna put a little more on this guy since it's so thick.
It's beautiful.
Go. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and add this onto our bulb. So to add it into the bulb, you've cut off the paper towel or newspaper or whatever you used. I'm gonna take your scissors and be
Drill a
careful.
hole?
Yeah, like stab a hole into it. Really just kind of move that paper around a little bit. You can use your
The little scissors might work
Yeah.
better, just because they're more pointy, but either one.
You're just really moving it to the edge, like, and creating a little hole. And you're gonna go ahead and fill that hole with hot glue. Just fill it up. If I have enough hot glue.
We have
Need-
more.
Yeah,
We
I
have
think
more.
I need one more.
Okay.
Really just.
We're all
There we go.
mesmerized.
And then we're just gonna go ahead and stick this in here and find that hole I just made. And you're gonna wanna push it down and just hold it there until it dries, so we don't want it coming out.
And while
Mhm.
we're waiting for that to dry,
Yeah.
make sure you guys go over to our site and look at the paper whites.
Yes, we
That-
use the bulb technique.
The
for
bulb technique,
that.
and that one's sitting in a glass
Mhm.
vase.
We even made some little roots
The
for
roots,
it.
it's
and
so cute, so cute.
yes.
Yeah. I think we're kind of bulb happy this
Perfect. Yeah.
winter.
They're so pretty.
They are.
All right, let's see. It still feels a little.
And we just
All
want
right.
to congratulate our winners, Silhouette Secrets, and encourage everybody else to enter for our second giveaway on our social media by sharing
Okay.
a picture by the end of the year using the hashtag #MemberMe.
Can you guys hear her? If not, Silhouette Secrets
Mhm.
just won our 3-pack, so we're gonna get your address and ship that out to you. You're gonna love it. This paper cuts like butter on the Silhouette. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
yay.
So we're gonna add a couple details just around our bulb, and that's what the brown paper was for.
Mhm.
So you're gonna just stretch those little ovals a bit. I'm still holding it because it's not quite dry yet. Maybe crumple them up just like we did the space, and we're gonna use, might lay that down, some tacky glue just at the bottom of the oval on the one of the long sides. And I'm just kind of making the edge a little wild so it looks natural, and I'm just going to put this around the base just to cover where it was glued into the bulb. I'm going to use 2, maybe 3 of these, just as much as it takes to cover up. I think 2 is good. And once you've glued those on there, you're gonna take your gold floral tape again, the piece right here, and we're just gonna cover the bottom of that. And this will also secure your flower a little bit more.
It looks like you're tightening it up around.
It is, yeah. I'm really just like tightening everything up. And I'm gonna go down a little bit, and then once you're done with this, you're gonna Mod Podge over this floral tape again that you just laid down so that it really stays and so it matches the rest. And you're gonna let the tip be a little, I don't know if you can really tell, but it's a little like wrinkly in there. The floral tape is not laying quite flat, and that's okay because the tip of your bulb is kind of, everything's like growing out of it.
Right.
There's weird little pieces
busting
coming
out,
out. And so once you've done that, you're gonna go ahead and Mod Podge over that floral tape. All right, there we go. And then we're gonna pull these guys out a little, bend them out.
I just love this technique.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go. Bend our flowers out a little more. There we go. Don't know if that's gonna quite stand yet.
I would say the
And
bigger the
Bulb, the better, or the bigger.
or the longer the stem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna show you a trick right now. So you
Okay.
see, this is like falling forward. I remember I had the problem with this actually as well, and I just remembered how I fixed it.
Tricks are good.
So it's
I love it.
falling forward. We need to fix it. On the bottom, I'm gonna put just a little strip of hot glue right on the front, the way it's falling forward, just on that side. So it's just a line of hot glue because it was falling that way. And so once this dries, when I go and set it down, that hot glue is gonna hold it
in place. And I
had to
think
do it
there's
on-
some right
yep,
here too.
I had to do it on that one as well. I
Yeah.
just remembered. I was like, wait. That's why it stands up so nicely.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and I think again, you know,
Mhm.
if you can get a bigger flat.
Yeah,
rock, that's
the
even better.
bigger, flatter rock you can find, the better.
Although this one stays
yeah.
up really well.
Yeah, that one stands up great. This rock was a little bit smaller.
And
Yeah.
you know, you can always add
Right.
more.
Yeah, you kind of
Around
just
it.
keep playing with it. So like, all right, that needs a little more.
The other thing about the rock too is it gives it weight.
Yeah, it gives
Which
it
is
weight
what-
so that that's really what you need
Mhm.
is the weight. Like you can make the bottom flat with
Yeah.
toilet paper or whatever,
Yep.
but it needs the weight to really hold it up. I'm not gonna touch that.
Don't touch it. Okay.
Perfect.
So that's it for today. Is there
Yeah.
anything else we need to let everybody know, Anna? Thank you for hanging in there with us. We
Yeah.
apologize for the
Really.
internet. This is it's such a headache to have it come in and
Mhm.
out. But anyway, hopefully you're all staying warm, unlike us. It's cold here, it's rainy.
Cold and
Time to turn on the
wet.
fire.
It
Yeah.
is.
And we'll see you next month. We're actually going
There we
to there we go.
Now it's right in
Stay.
front of my face though.
Yay. We're scheduling the January member make before Anna and I head to Germany.
Mhm.
So we'll give you the date. I think it's going to be the third week of January, the
Yep.
third Friday. We'll confirm that with you. And we are looking at what flower we're going to be doing.
Yeah, have we decided?
We haven't
I don't know if we decided.
But so if you have some ideas
Yeah.
right now is the time to throw out some ideas for us. I would love to do something that's spring, kind of a January, not really
Yeah.
spring, but a late winter flower,
Mhm.
whether it be, you know, bulbs or we see our trees maybe start blooming in
Yeah.
January, or we want them to. So.
We want them to.
So give us some ideas of what you'd like to see us do in January, and we'll definitely. Megan here, I might
We'll-
help. we'll get in
Figure
there and
something
try to
out.
make something really amazing like
Mhm.
this. I mean, this when I saw this, I about cried. It's so beautiful.
It's
So yeah,
a fun flower.
it is really fun, and their techniques are great because you can
Mhm.
use them on other flowers as well.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us, you guys, and hanging in there. And we'll see you next month.
Yeah.
And
see
Merry
you next
Christmas.
month. Merry Christmas.
Yes, and see you in 2020.